There's this funny question, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? And that same question gets often asked by people I work with for decades now as a spiritual teacher, but also as a trained trauma therapist and psychologist. What comes first, trauma healing or spiritual awakening? And I always say it's both at the same time, often even. Maybe you have been practicing for a while and meditating, and maybe you had glimpses or experiences of the love that surpasses all understanding, or you have really experienced the peace that is below all the noise. Are you able to be more present in life? And then you notice that trauma starts emerging. Maybe your own, maybe you were beaten as a child, and if so, I'm very sorry. Or someone was bullied, someone was abandoned. And if there's not personal trauma, there's the ancestral trauma that starts coming up, because most of our ancestors didn't know how to handle trauma. And the collective field. Now that's a lot. From all the wars we had and all the pains that have never been resolved and healed, that can seem overwhelming. And with the spirituality, we have resources that help us to walk through. So the same way that when you work on trauma healing in a skillful way with some support, what you also will experience is an awakening. And it makes so much sense to me. When trauma is held in the body, it's life energy trapped. And when that gets liberated, what happens is a natural occurrence of an awakening, of coming back to your own self, and also landing more fully here in presence, in life, connected with your heart, because that energy that was trapped is freed. And what is always been within you begins to emerge and shine forth. So either way, if we leave out one or the other, if we don't do trauma healing when we're on a spiritual path, or if we just on a psychological path and leave out spirituality, either way creates an enormous split. It needs to go hand in hand. And when it does, quite beautifully, what emerges is you being more fully embodied in this life, here on this earth, and breathing, living the love, breathing, living the peace with your feet, with your hands, and all that you touch. So I want to invite you to endeavor on your path to unite both, to tend to both, and see where it leads you. Because we have a lot of pain, and we have an enormous amount of love at the same time. And so I want to pass this along to you. It's the chicken and the egg. It's trauma healing and spiritual awakening needs to be tended to, both. And that is the wholeness and the gift that you might be looking for.